Alright guys, my name is Goblin. Today I'm going to be talking about a very interesting development in the Classic WoW community that will essentially allow you to play on a fresh Classic WoW server on this Saturday, October 24th at 7 o'clock server time, on the actual official Classic WoW servers. This isn't any private server or anything like that. This is essentially a community-driven event to repopulate a dead server. So there's a lot of dead servers out there, and if you think about it, because nobody plays on them and they don't really have much of an economy, there's not many people doing the raids or PvP or anything like that, they are essentially a fresh slate. They are dead servers, and if someone, for instance, decided to, you know, put 1,000 people on this server, it would be essentially replicating the authentic fresh server experience, and that's essentially what this community event is all about. So you may not know, I've made a video about this previously. There's a server called Flamelash where during the process that has now been coined the Exodus, when Phase 2 came out, to be honest, it was already bad in Phase 1. There was about 40% people playing Alliance, 60% playing Horde, even in Phase 1 before PvP became a thing. And in Phase 2, basically the Alliance were totally driven off the server by free transfers, and the server is now at 99% Horde population. There is still 2 guilds on the server, one PvE raiding guild and a PvP guild still on the server, but when you log in, the maximum people online is probably going to be about 100 people online on the Alliance side. So yeah, a very dead server. But the community on this server is creating this event as an attempt to totally repopulate the server. So this Saturday, October 24th at 7 o'clock server time, what's essentially going to happen... Oh, by the way, I'm going to check what actual time that is for all of the American boys. I'm honestly not very good at time zones, but the time is basically going to be GMT plus 2. So what's going to happen, there's already a couple hundred people signed up to do this event, so 200 people are going to log in and level characters all the way from level 1 to 60 all over again. And the whole idea is to basically create a new, fresh and slightly bigger, close-knit, friendly community on the server. If you're tired of guilds that are obsessed with passes, world buffs, loads of people doing, you know, leveling boosts on your server, all of that kind of thing isn't really going to be a thing on this server. In fact, boosting your characters is basically against the rules. So if you start breaking the rules, you would be totally, well, we're just going to get a really bad and horrible reputation on the server, and reputation is going to matter more, a lot more significantly on a server like this because it's a smaller community. Obviously, the content won't be coming out progressively because that would be impossible, but I don't see that's actually not a problem. Because for me personally, I actually think that's an advantage, and I would actually prefer to play on a server like this because you're going to get that obviously fresh, authentic experience when playing on a fresh server, and then you also won't have to wait for all the raids to come out. There's already going to be loads of raids and loads of content for you to experience when you get to level 60, and you're going to be there, part of a community with all your friends, killing some raids and just having a good time. So I can definitely see the appeal to an event like this, especially as it'll be a totally fresh economy. Like paying for items on the auction house will be totally fresh because the economic presence on the server is pretty much non-existent. So all of the issues, if you have like economical issues on your server, then you're not going to have those kind of issues on this server. There's going to be no bots, well there may be bots, but I fairly doubt there'll be bots or people farming immense amount of gold, Chinese gold farmers, people selling gold, and all these kind of things that come with probably the majority of Classic WoW servers. All of those issues, you're not going to have those issues on this server because this is going to be a totally fresh slate, and the community is going to be, it isn't going to get insanely popular to the point where all of these issues will pop up again. And if you look at it, it's going to be a better challenge than playing on a more typical server, because the challenge will be to get everyone geared, and it'll be an absolute rush to get decently geared before Naxxramas and the Burning Crusade comes out. Because the guilds that are on the server right now that do raiding, they will help everyone who is, leveling 0 to 60 and doing raiding. They will basically get helped by the other players, but I think what probably more likely happen to make a more authentic experience, as everyone will probably, you know, if there's enough people to raid with, then everyone will play on totally fresh characters, because obviously you don't want to get boosted, because that'll kind of ruin the experience like a little bit. So I imagine if enough people get involved in this project, though, everyone will basically be playing you know, a totally fresh raiding experience. And if you think about it, it may actually be your last chance to actually experience an authentic fresh server experience, because Blizzard may not release fresh classic servers. They may just progress all the servers into TBC, and you won't be able to play classic and experience that kind of fresh server experience when everyone's leveling up in a low level leveling zones, grouping up to do quests together and just having, you know, a good time like that. But you know, you may not be able to experience that as much, and because, you know, there won't be 5 million people all trying to level up at once, you have to deal with server queues, and I think the whole leveling experience from 1 to 60 will be a much better experience, because there will be a lot less quest competition. And I imagine what's going to happen is people are going to group up into like teams to do questing together, so it's going to be a much more social and friendly way of leveling. I think the world chat is probably going to be booming, with everyone, you know, being friendly, making friends, doing dungeons, doing group quests together, and I think it's going to be probably one of the best classic WoW experiences that you're probably going to get out of the entire game, in my humble opinion anyway. Now, there is obviously a catch. What people are probably obviously worried about is, well, what about the Horde, right? Won't the Horde just gank everyone? Right, because if everyone's leveling up from, you know, 1 to 60, and there's a lot of them doing it, then won't the Horde just take an easy opportunity to come tag along and get some free honour? Well, what's actually happened is the officers from all the Alliance guilds are friendly with all of the Horde guilds. So the Horde side isn't too insanely high populated either, right? It's not nowhere near as bad as the Alliance side, but it isn't like a really high populated server like the other servers. But anyway, so the officers from all guilds on either side of the factions are friends of each other. They actually did help each other out when it came to the war effort by trading items on the neutral auction house. And the Horde are just going to be happy about Alliance coming back to the server. They're not going to jump on the bandwagon of ganking everyone to deter everyone from the server, because that would just be a totally pointless thing to do. If anything, the Horde are probably going to look at helping the Alliance level 1 to 60 and helping them in their raiding experience by probably just not ganking them. But I imagine it will eventually get to a point where there will be more opportunities for organised world PvP and things like that has been teased at a little bit on the Discord server. So yeah, what I'd recommend you to do, guys, is go into the description of my video right now. I might pin it in a comment as well. Go to the Discord, go and read the rules, go and see what's happening, and get involved, because I think this is something that more, you know, the more the merrier at the end of the day. And I think this is going to be a great thing for everyone to do and try out. I'm going to stream the event because I think it's interesting. I may not commit 100% to leveling a level 60 character on the server, because I honestly don't have a lot of time for that, because I've literally just recently got my Warlock to level 70 on the Karazhan TPC server, so I'm going to be putting my time into that. But yeah, I'll definitely stream it, definitely get involved, see what's happening. But anyway, my name is Metagoblin. Until my next video, ciao.